What's up everyone, it's Karthik with Moneyvest. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tesla stock. In my opinion, Tesla is playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. I'm going to break down exactly why the long-term vision has never been stronger for the company. So hope you all enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with other Tesla investors, traders, people that might be interested in learning more about what Tesla is doing with their company over the long term, with the products that they've also unveiled moving forward as well. Also, if you want to get access to all the trade alerts with the options portfolio, I've got Tesla calls expiring today that are up over 96% that I will be closing out and selling new calls for next week because we've got earnings coming out next week. So optimism is once again back potentially on the table. And again, if you want to get access to all the updates, trade alerts, options portfolios, Moneyvest website, there is going to be a link down below with that 16% annual discount that's also available until the end of this month. And I also posted my options trading Excel spreadsheet, which you can download and use yourself. So that's also going to be available with an Excel download for you. And I also shared the PDF checklist yesterday with all the members. That's also going to be available with the link down below. So this right here came out with Tesla Optimus navigating by myself. This is a very, very interesting video of the Tesla Optimus essentially moving inside the factory, navigating a lot of different things, of course, moving things from one place to another. And this, in my opinion, of course, is a huge game changer for Tesla over the long term because this is a huge B2B business opportunity as manufacturing, delivery, machinery, equipment, just a lot of applications for this particular piece of technology. Not to mention the Cybercab, the Robotaxis, and everything that was unveiled during the Robotaxi event. Of course, Tesla did drop quite a bit, a little bit over 8.7, almost 9%. It's pretty much stayed at those levels ever since the Robotaxi event. And the last 4 or 5 days, you can see every single day there's been a lot of consolidation sideways, and Tesla has really not gone anywhere. It's trading at just around 219 to 20 levels for the last 4 to 5 days. We've got huge earnings coming out with the earnings expectations of about 60 cents per share, with revenues of just over $25.4 billion getting released on Wednesday, October 23rd. Of course, we'll be live to cover the entire earnings, the earnings call as well, where Elon Musk goes over the entire vision for Tesla's moving forward in the future. But in my opinion, I think a bigger release is going to be V13. The V13 release is coming out towards the end of this month. At least it's speculated to come out very soon. Tesla is aiming to release V13 this month. Head of AI also says that V13 will have the same software as what Robotaxis had on the 1010 event, and mentioned that reflecting on the We Robot event, we had 19 Cybercabs and 29 Model Ys driving themselves. 1,300 trips were taken on that day, transporting over 2,000 guests, continuous operations of over 3.5 hours, and every trip was perfectly safe. And again, FSD V13, with the anticipated release in October 2024, Tesla aims to push the boundaries of autonomy further with new features, including unpark, park, and reverse in FSD. That was actually one of the interventions from the video that I mentioned in my previous updates as well, that Tesla was not able to reverse on its own. And that, again, is going to be included. An approximately 6 times better improvement in miles between interventions as well. So recent developments and upcoming features. This, of course, was the last update, FSD V12.5.6, which was released in September, that already brought significant advancements in Tesla's autonomous driving technology, including a 3-fold improvement in the distance traveled without a human intervention. And this one, of course, is going to have 6 times more improvement in the miles between intervention, with parking features and reverse in FSD as well. Now, we did have Ross Gerber on CNBC again, talking a lot about Tesla, talking down on Tesla, I should say, and Elon Musk, and how Tesla is really not able to adopt or execute properly, and the autonomous vehicle technology is a dud, and talking once again about Google's technology and how they've already solved it. It's crazy how a lot of people are not able to see what Tesla is building for the long term, because as we have discussed before, that yes, Waymo and Google has certainly come to market really, really quickly. In other words, they're the first ones to market with level 4 autonomy. However, there's a lot of nuances that are keeping them from becoming a profitable company and also becoming a more mass-produced and mass-scaled solution to autonomous driving, autonomous vehicles, because it costs significant amount of money for the lasers, LiDARs, and radars, $100,000, upwards of $100,000 for Google to install in their Waymos, in their Jaguars, and not to mention the entire cost involved and the systems, the technology that they're using, it is very, very difficult to actually achieve profitability. So cost advantages are, for one, a big reason why Waymo is losing upwards of $2 billion per year, right? So last year, Google reported, net loss of over $2 billion on Waymo alone. So it's a pretty significant chunk of that money because, of course, ride trips are for $10, $15, and there's a lot of restrictions related to geo mapping because we are pretty much restricted or contained within a metropolitan city where there has to be an HD map that has already needs to be mapped out for Waymo to function. It's not going to go on highways. It's certainly not going to be available in all the places because it's a very cumbersome process of trying to map out the entire United States, let alone the entire world. With Tesla, what they're really trying to focus on is end-to-end neural network solution where regardless of where Tesla is, it can drive itself based on vision, right? Based on actually seeing what's on the road and in its surroundings and drive wherever it wants to go. So Tesla obviously is going to move up the ladder when it comes to those levels of autonomy, right now being in level 2. And it's possible that they're able to solve that fairly quickly. Like we're coming towards the end of this FSD process where with every incremental version that's going to be released with FSD, it's going to get to a point where interventions are near zero. Tesla's going to be able to handle pretty much all situations, all scenarios, everywhere, which is going to be crazy if you think about it. You're never going to have to intervene at all, right? When it comes to distance, depth, speed, safety, when it comes to reversing the car, parking the car, bringing it to your destination, dropping you off, picking you up, driving around on its own. Like there's just a lot of scenarios, a lot of things that it's getting trained on. It's also got the most amount of data, right? 1 billion miles worth of data that it's collected and it's training its AI model on, which is end-to-end neural network, which is not going to be geo-mapped. It's not going to be limited to a specific city, but it's going to be open to pretty much the entire world. And that's what Tesla's building, right? It's really building a very, very customized feature, which is exactly the opposite of what Waymo's doing. So I understand the logic. I understand why everyone's going crazy over, especially Ross Gerber going crazy over what Waymo's developed. However, it's not a very long-term strategic plan for the company. Now, if they can lower that cost and also introduce it in a lot of other places, a lot of other cities, but that's also going to be increasing that cost, right? Because we've got more cars then on the road. And of course, we've got more LiDARs, more radars technology, more geomapping, more manual code that they would need to write. With Tesla, it's really just figuring out the software piece. It's figuring out how they can get the FSD to fully autonomous and get to level 5. Because at level 5, you're really just, letting the car do everything and you don't have to do anything. You're pretty much just sitting back, controlling it with your phone or whatever. If you want to open the trunk, if you want to drive it around, whatever it is, you put the destination in, the car takes care of the rest. And that's what Tesla's trying to solve for the long term. It's going to be over-the-air software update, which could really push Tesla's autonomy several levels up overnight if they're able to solve it fairly quickly. So that is why I believe, strongly that Tesla really is playing a very long-term strategic chess as opposed to where everyone is focusing on the short-term fix, which is, the LiDAR radar technology with the Waymos and Cruise and a lot of other autonomous vehicles out there that have already surpassed these levels here because of the fact that they are, again, one, very expensive. Elon Musk and Tesla wants to make it very, very cost efficient. Number two, it is also very restricted to one specific area or one type of, metropolitan city, as opposed to Tesla where it wants to be end-to-end, handle all situations, every single map, doesn't matter where it is, it can drive itself on every single road in the US and in the world. So that is why I believe a more longer-term solution to autonomous driving is where the potential comes in. Not to mention the Optimus, that is also going to be a huge B2B revenue driver for the company with some decently good margins. I definitely do recommend watching this video, a minute 24, which is going to give you a little bit more of an insight on what Optimus can really do. 42,000 likes, 5.1 million impressions. Definitely do check it out. Came out yesterday. Now, going over to the technical analysis, again, we are still very much within the context of a downtrend, so we're not able to break out above levels from 260s and 270s. We got a huge resistance for Tesla in and around these levels, as you already know. So this is the area of supply where Tesla is not able to break above that resistance here. And of course, we got rejected at that very resistance, sold off all the way down to 220s. That's where we are at now. And next week's earnings, I will be doing an earnings preview over the weekend, going over what to expect from Tesla's numbers, because we do know that the quarterly and year-over-year numbers on the deliveries were higher, 4 to 6% increase on a year-over-year basis, which is very good. And we've also not seen a lot of price cuts. So I'm expecting some pretty good numbers, but the guidance is really what's going to dictate where the price ends up going. So knowing Tesla and looking at historical numbers, Tesla very rarely goes up on earnings. Last earnings, we pretty much see Tesla dropping a little bit over 12%, but the earnings prior to that, we did see Tesla go up 12%. So it's kind of like a hit or miss, and the earnings prior to that down 12%. Earnings before that, again, down a little bit over 9%. So on average, it has dropped 3 out of the 4 times by over 12% for Tesla. So 1 out of the 4 times, so 25%, it has gone higher by over 12%. So again, the probabilities are very much skewed against the bulls. However, we'll talk about that over the weekend update as well. So support level is going to stay put at $205. Resistance pretty much all the way up to here at 267, 268 for Tesla as well. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and for the long term as well. I'm happy to discuss and talk about the different technologies between Tesla and Waymo and a lot of other autonomous driving manufacturers, because there are big differences. These are not fair comparisons, because yes, you may think that they're already ahead when it comes to getting an early start to autonomous driving, but it is a very different technology used in a very different place with very limited restrictions, right? Very, very a significant amount of restrictions that are in place for Waymo versus what Tesla is trying to achieve. So hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Again, support level for Tesla is going to stay put at $205. Resistance all the way up to 268, almost up to as much as 270. That's a level where we continue to get rejected, and I will be closing out my calls today to sell new ones for next week. Happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.